This is a story about a diamond ring, but it is not about money, not about shine, and not even about beauty. This is a story about time, about waiting, about love that crosses years, tears, and secrets that sleep deep inside the heart. Imagine you are walking home one evening, tired and quiet, and in your coat pocket you feel something strange. You pull it out, and it's a small box, blue, soft, elegant. You open it, and inside you see a diamond ring. You don't know how it got there. You don't know who it belongs to. But something inside your heart feels like this ring was always waiting for you. It's a simple object, but behind it is a story that can change everything. This is not fiction. This is how real love feels, real pain, real memories, and real hope. So stay with me. Let me take you on a journey that begins in a small flower shop but travels through heartbreak, mystery, and the kind of love we all dream of but only some find. This is The Diamond Ring. Chapter 1: A Simple Girl and Her Dream. In a quiet town with narrow streets, gentle winds, and friendly faces, there lived a girl named Emily. She was not famous, she was not rich, but she had something rare. She had kindness in her voice, honesty in her smile, and dreams in her eyes. Emily worked at a small flower shop on the corner of Rose Lane, a place where the air always smelled of lavender and hope. She lived alone in a small apartment above the shop, waking up each morning before the sun rose, tying her hair in a messy bun, and walking down the stairs to open the door that welcomed love into the world. Because flowers, she believed, were a message from the heart. Every day she would clean the vases, cut the stems, and arrange the petals in such a careful way that every bouquet felt like a secret being sent. She watched couples come in, shy boys buying roses for the first time, old men picking lilies for anniversaries, young girls choosing sunflowers for their mothers. She smiled at all of them, even when she felt alone, because inside her there was a quiet hope, a dream that one day someone would walk through her door not to buy a flower, but to offer one. Not with words, but with eyes full of meaning. She didn't want a rich man. She didn't need a perfect one. She wanted a soul who would understand her without asking, someone who would choose her not just once, but every day. But dreams, she thought, were for storybooks, and life was just about keeping the shop clean, making tea, and breathing through another quiet evening. Chapter 2: A Man Who Walked In From the Rain. And then, one evening, when the rain fell hard and the sky looked like it was spilling its secrets, he walked in. He was soaked from head to toe, wearing a long black coat, and his eyes looked like they had seen too much, carried too much, and still searched for something more. He didn't say hello. He just walked around the shop slowly, touching nothing, looking at everything. Emily stood behind the counter, silent, curious, and for the first time in years, nervous. Finally, the man picked up a white rose and turned to her. "Do you think a flower can carry a message better than a letter?" he asked in a voice soft, deep, and a little broken. Emily looked at him and replied, "Only when the heart is too full to write words." He smiled, just a little, and placed the rose gently on the counter. He didn't ask for wrapping. He didn't ask for change. He just left. But not before leaving his umbrella behind. The next day he came back for it. And the day after that he came back again. Not for the umbrella, not for the flowers, but to ask Emily how she was doing, how her morning had been, what book she was reading, and if she believed in second chances. His name was Daniel. He was not from town. He said he was just passing through, but with each passing day, he stayed a little longer. They talked about the world, about small things, about stars, about regrets, and slowly, without knowing, they created something special. Not loud, not fast, but deep, gentle, and real. Chapter 3: A Ring with No Name. One morning, when Emily came down to the shop, she found something unusual. As she reached behind the counter to find her flower scissors, she saw a small box, neatly placed, wrapped in soft blue velvet, with no note, no tag, no message. She opened it slowly, carefully, and her heart skipped a beat. Inside was a diamond ring, not modern, not flashy, but old, classic, beautiful, like it had 100 stories to tell. She stared at it, confused, her fingers trembling as she held it in her palm. Who left it here? Was it a mistake, a gift, a lost item? She waited all day for someone to come and claim it. But no one did. Daniel did not come either. She tried to call him, but his number didn't work. Days passed, and still nothing. Emily wore the ring on a chain around her neck, close to her heart, not because it was hers, but because something in her heart whispered that it had chosen her. And then one night, as she locked the shop and walked upstairs to her room, she found an envelope under her door. Her name was written in handwriting she knew too well. Inside was a letter that made her sit on the floor and cry. Chapter 4: The Letter That Broke Her Heart. The letter read, "Emily, if you are reading this, I am far away now. Not because I wanted to leave you, but because I had to face something I have been running from for years. The ring you found was not meant to confuse you. It belonged to someone I once loved. We were young. I promised her forever. But life was cruel. She got sick. She died. And I kept the ring, thinking one day I would be strong enough to let it go. But I never was, until I met you. You reminded me what it feels like to be alive again, to laugh again, to believe again. But I knew I couldn't offer you love with half a heart. I had to find peace with my past before I could build a future. If you still remember me when I return, I will ask you for something I have never asked anyone, your hand. But until then, keep the ring close, not because it was hers, but because now it is yours." Emily cried for hours that night, not because he left, but because she understood. She had felt the pain in his voice, the silence in his eyes, and she knew. Daniel was not gone. He was just finding his way back. Chapter 5: Waiting with Hope. Seasons changed. Winter came with snow that kissed the rooftops and covered the flower shop in white. Emily kept working. She opened the shop every morning, served her customers, and arranged flowers with the same gentle love. But inside her, a storm of hope and fear lived. She wore the ring around her neck every day. People asked her if she was engaged. She smiled and said, "Not yet." Nights were the hardest. She would sit by her window, look at the stars, and wonder if Daniel was also looking up at the same sky. Some days she believed he would come back. Other days she thought maybe she was foolish. But she waited, not with sadness, but with strength. Because love, she believed, was not in promises, it was in patience. Chapter 6: When the Ring Finds Its Place. 1 year later, on a rainy evening, when thunder echoed in the sky like old stories being told again, the door of the flower shop opened. And there he was, Daniel, tired, older but peaceful. He didn't speak. He just walked up to her, took the ring from around her neck, and knelt on one knee. "I'm home," he said. And this time I'm not going anywhere. Will you let this ring finally find its place? Not in a box, not around your neck, but on your finger where it always belonged? Emily said nothing. She just held his face, smiled with tears, and whispered the only word that mattered. Yes, ending, the true meaning of the diamond ring. The diamond ring was never just a ring, it was a journey, a circle of life, of waiting, of healing. It taught Emily that love does not rush. It grows in silence, in distance, in time. And when it returns, it comes home stronger. If you are waiting for someone, if you are holding on to a hope that feels impossible, don't give up. Sometimes the love we dream of is just walking through the storm to find us. And when it does, it will bring a diamond ring, not of gold, but of truth. And if this story touched your heart even a little, if it made you think about someone you love, or someone you lost, or someone you are still waiting for, then please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Because your like and subscribe tells us that these stories matter. Thank you for listening to The Diamond Ring. And until we meet again, keep believing in love.